Hello students, welcome to Saraswat International Academy. This is the 8th part of Standard 9 Mathematics and the chapter number is 1 Number System. In a previous video, we have learned about the simplification of a irrational number. So let's start with new topic. Now in this video, the first topic you will learn is rationalization of a real number. Rationalize any real number. So how we can rationalize it? So this is the main point, that to rationalize any real number, we have to multiply and divide the number by its rationalizing factor, such that in denominator should be a rational number. So what we have to do, whenever the number is given, if denominator is irrational, then we have to multiply and divide it by its rationalizing factor, such that the denominator should be a rational number. So here the main topic is you cannot write any irrational number in a denominator. So what we have to do, let's take some examples. That rationalizing factor, what is rationalizing factor? So we will write the types of the numbers of a denominator and then its rationalizing factor. So first type is, if a denominator is in a form of a root a, then its rationalizing factor is also a root a. So what we have to do, whenever the denominator is in form of root a, so we have to multiply and divide that number by root a. So how we can do it? Let's take some example to understand this concept. Example number 70. Rationalize the denominator of 1 by root 2. So here we can see here that denominator is in a form of a root 2. So its rationalizing factor is also root 2. So what we have to do? We have to multiply and divide this number by root 2. So for that, in a solution, my number is multiplying and dividing by root 2. So what will be the simplification step? 1 by root 2, it is equals to 1 by root 2 into root 2 by root 2. Now in denominator, root 2 into root 2 will become 2. We have the property which we have learned in a previous video. So it can be written as root 2 divided by 2. So this is the rationalizing of a denominator, such that the denominator should be a rational number. So this is the one kind of rationalizing factor. Now the other type, the next type, if denominator is in a form of a plus root b, then a plus root b, where a is a rational number and root b is a irrational, then its rationalizing factor is a minus root b. What we have done, just change the sign between that two numbers. So it is a minus root b. So now what we have to do, let's take some example for understanding this concept. So next example number 18, rationalize the denominator of 1 divided by 2 plus root 3. So here we can see denominator in the form of a by a plus root b. So what we have to multiply? 2 minus root 3 from the above formula. So in the solution, what we have to do, we have to multiply and divide by 1 by 2 plus root 3 by 2 minus root 3. So let's apply the steps. So I can write 1 by divided by 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3 divided by 2 plus root 3. Now what will become in a numerator? So numerator will become 1 into 2 minus root 3, and in denominator this become 2 square minus root 3 square, because the denominator in a form of a plus b into a minus b. Now 2 square will become 4 and root 3 square will become 3. So my next step will be 2 minus root 3 divided by 4 minus 3. So what will be happen? So simplification, I will get only 2 minus root 3 divided by 1. So we can directly say it is 2 minus root 3. So this is my answer of the rationalization. Now another form, if the terms are interchanged, let now if the denominator in the form of a minus root b, then its rationalizing factor should be, what will be, it is a plus root b. Again we have changed the sign between that two numbers, so its rationalizing factor is 1 a plus root b. Now again extra example for it, rationalize the denominator of 1 divided by 2 minus root 3. So in the solution, what we have to do, multiply and divide 1 divided by 2 minus 3 by 2 plus root 3. So what will be happen here, 1 divided by 2 minus root 3 into 2 plus root 3 divided by 2 minus 2 plus root 3. Now in numerator it will become 1 into 2 plus root 3, and in denominator it will be same again, 2 square minus root 3 square. So next step will become 2 plus root 3 divided by 4 minus 3. So again my answer will be 2 plus root 3 divided by 1, or I can say it is 2 plus root 3. So this is the way you can rationalize any denominator. Just you have to remember what we have to do, just change the sign of a denominator between the two numbers. If given plus, then we have to write minus. If minus, then you have to write plus. Now taking another more example of another type of a denominator. Now if the denominator is in a form of root a minus root b, then its rationalizing factor, now you know what we have to do, just change the sign between two numbers. So its rationalizing factor will be root a plus root b. So now let's take another example, example number 19. Rationalize the denominator of 5 divided by root 3 minus root 5. So again we have seen the given question, will apply the following formula. So what will be in the solution, we have to multiply and divide it by root a plus root b. So my question is 5 divided by root 3 minus root 5. Now in next step I will multiply it by and divide it by root 3 plus root 5 and root 3 plus root 5. In numerator it will become 5 into root 3 plus root 5, and denominator is 3 minus 5. How it will become 3 minus 5? It is a plus b and a minus b. So it will become root 3 square minus root 5 square. So it will become root 3 into 3 minus 5. So 3 minus 5 will become minus 2. So my simplification step will become minus 5 by 2 into root 3 plus root 5. So that will be my simplification. So this is the way you can rationalize. Same again, if you have to find the next formula, that if the denominator is in a form of root a plus root b, then what will be its rationalizing factor? As we know, it is root a minus root b. So this is the way you can rationalize any denominator. Just you have to do whatever the denominator it is, just change the sign between that two numbers and multiply and divide it by that number from question. Now taking some next examples. Now example number 20. Rationalize the denominator of 1 divided by 7 plus 3 root 2. So you know what is the rationalized denominator, rationalizing factor, it is 7 minus 3 root 2. We have just changed the sign between that two numbers. So now in the solution what we have to do, we have to multiply and divide the 1 divided by 7 plus 3 root 2 with 1 minus 7 minus 3 root 2 and 7 plus 3 7 minus 3 root 2. So I am multiplying the number with and dividing it by 7 minus 3 root 2. So now in numerator it will become 1 into 7 minus 3 root 2, and in denominator it will become 7 square minus 3 root 2 whole square. Now we can simplify 7 square, which is 49, but what about 3 root 2 whole square? So we have to applying the square separately. So what will be the 3 square? So next step can be written as 7 minus 3 root 2 divided by 49 minus 9 into 2. Now how it will become 9 into 2? The square of 3 will be 9, and square of root 2 will become 2. So it will become 9 into 2. So my next simplification step will be 7 minus 3 root 2 divided by 49 minus 18. So my final answer will be 7 minus 3 root 2 divided by 31. So it is my answer of the given example. Now moving towards the exercise. Exercise 1.5. Okay. What the first question is, classify the following numbers as rational or irrational. Just look at the number and follow the property of irrational number. If it is not irrational, then it is rational. So the first question is 2 minus root 5. So what is it? Okay, 2 is a rational and minus 5 is irrational. So we know the property that addition and subtraction of one non-zero rational and irrational number should be always irrational. So this number is also an irrational number. The second question, 3 plus root 23 minus root 23. First of all, we have to simplify the bracket according to BODMAS rule. So it will become 3 plus root 23 minus root 23. Now plus root 23 and minus root 23 will be cancelled out. So it is 3. Now 3 is a rational number. So this whole number is also will be a rational number. Now the third one, 2 root 7 divided by 7 root 7. Now we can see root 7 will be cancelled out from these two terms. So my final answer will become 2 by 7, which is again a p by q form. So again it is a rational number. Next, fourth one, 1 divided by root 2. Again 1 is a rational and divided by root 2 is irrational. So resultant is also an irrational number. Now the next one, fifth question, 2 pi. Now pi is an irrational number, so multiply by 2 is also irrational. So we can say this is then again irrational number. So this is the way you can solve it. Now the second question is simplify each of the following expressions. Now this is the question as we have solved in a previous video. So this all 4 questions are there. So you have to do it as your homework. The 4 question is given like this. This is the second question of your exercise. Just multiply. In the first question you have to multiply the 2 brackets. The second one is a plus b and a minus b, again a plus b whole square and again a plus b into a minus b. So this type of question we have already solved it. So first of all, do it as your homework. Now the third question is, recall that pi is defined as a ratio of the circumference, say C, of a circle to its diameter, say D. That is pi equals to C by D. We have already studied in a previous class that pi is the ratio of the circumference of a circle is to its diameter. So let assuming pi is equals to C by D, it seems to contradict the fact that pi is a irrational number. So how will you resolve this contradiction? Now again we have learned that pi is irrational, but again C by D is a which number? It is a rational number. So how you can contradict this resolution? This is a word type question. So you have to write the answer in a words. You cannot to have any calculation on this question. So what is the answer? So the solution of this question is, whenever with the scale or tape we get only an approximate rational number. Whenever you scale or measure anything, you will get an approximate rational number as the result of our measurement. That is why pi can be approximately represented as quotient of two rational numbers. So what we have to do, whenever as a mathematically you have to assume that pi is a rational number. Pi cannot be rational. We know the decimal expansion, but we can take pi is equal to 22/7 also, which is a rational, but we know the pi is a irrational number. So 22/7 is the approximate value of the pi, not the accurate value of the pi. That's why pi is always a rational number. Now the fourth question is, represent root 9.3 on the number line. Okay, this type of question we have already learned in the second or third video, that represent any root square irrational number on the number line. So we will doing the semicircle method, which is very easy to understand this. So what we have to do, first of all, draw a number line. On a given line, mark the distance 9.3 units from a fixed point A on it to obtain the point B such that AB equals to 9.3 units. We have to mark 2 points such that the distance between them is 9.3 units. So we are marking again 2 points. Again, the distance between them, the points are A and B, and the distance between them is 9.3 units. Now again, what we have to do, from the point B, mark a distance 1 unit and mark that point as C. So again, we are marking another point, 1 point from 1 unit distance, and the point is C, and distance between B and C is 1 unit. Now what we have to do, again the third step, find the midpoint of an AC and mark that point as O. Now you have to find midpoint of AC. So how you can find it? Draw a perpendicular bisector of AC, taking half of the value, more than half of AC, and draw a perpendicular bisect. The line bisector which intersect at point in the line, that point will become your midpoint. So again, you have to mark the perpendicular bisector, which is marking with O. Now what we have to do, next step, draw a semicircle with center O and the radius OC or OA. So again, I am drawing a semicircle with center O and radius OC. Now what we next we have to do, again draw a perpendicular line to AC passing through B and intersect semicircle at point D. So we are drawing a line which is perpendicular to AC and intersect the circle at D. Now next step, again, now let us treat the point line BC as the number line, and with B as the 0 value and C as the 1 value, and so on. So now what we have to do, again just do one thing, draw an arc with center B and a radius BD, which is intersect the number line in E. So I am drawing an arc which intersect the number line at E. Now this E point will represent root 9.3 on the number line. So next step will be, here E represents root 9.3 on the number line. So this is the method we have already learned in our previous videos. Now the next question number 5. Rationalize the denominators of the following. So again, the rationalization method we have already learned. Now for the first question, it is 1 by root 7. You know it is a form of root a, so we have to multiply and divide it by root a. So for the rationalization of this term, 1 by root 7 is equals to multiply and divide by root 7. So it will become 7 divided by root 7. Root 7 will become 7. So this is the rationalization of first question. Now the second question is 1 divided by root 7 minus root 6. So what we have to do? Multiply and divide it by root 7 plus root 6. We have to change the sign between the two numbers. So next 1 divided by root 7 minus root 6 and multiply by root 7 plus root 6 and divided by same number. So now in a numerator it will become 1 into root 7 plus root 6, which will become root 7 plus root 6 divided by root 7 square minus root 6 square. Now root 7 square will become 7 and root 6 square will become 6. So it will become root 7 plus root 6 divided by 7 minus 6. So now root 7 plus root 6 is divided by 1. So my final answer will be root 7 plus root 6. This is my final answer. Now the next two questions are given. The third one is 1 divided by root 5 plus root 2 and the other is 1 divided by root 7 minus root 2. So again these two questions you have to do as your homework. In the next video we will discuss the last topic of the chapter, which is the exponential powers of a real number. Thank you.